So, hello, and welcome to another Spirit Island video. And we are back with one of my least favorite spirits. Ugh. And we are playing against one of my least favorite adversaries. Now, here's the thing, right? Originally, so I've been playing Spirit Island for like a few years now, right? And there are spirits that I've tried to play and I just can't wrap my head around them. And then there are spirits that I've tried to play and no matter how I try them, it feels so much more difficult than the game truly needs to be. All right. So originally, right, I was going to just make like a list of things that I was going to start with the spirit, right? And talk about things that I don't like about him, right? So and these are spirits that I've really tried to play. These aren't spirits that I actively avoid. Like for example, right? I don't play as Bodan. I don't. I just can't get his mechanics to work. Even though violence is probably his best aspect, I've tried it, but I can't. Like, there's something I'm missing with him, right? So I don't feel comfortable trying to judge Bodan, right? Because there are times when he's good, and then there's times where he's just and I don't play a lot of Bodan to be like, yeah, I'm a Bodan player. I know what to do with him, and this is what I would think. Now, Wildfire, on the other hand, let me tell you, I have tried ups and downs with Wildfire, and boy, I believe I am wholly qualified in telling you why this spirit is bad. But I don't want to just say that like the spirit is bad. I want to talk about the challenges that this spirit has into a lot of adversaries. And as someone who has played lots of games with Wildfire, who has lost a majority of games with Wildfire, and who is just like who goes looks at the board, looks at the adversary, looks at the spirits, and goes, I'm not picking Wildfire. All right, there is a reason why I don't pick Wildfire. Like Bodan, I just don't understand how to play Bodan, so I don't really try. Like I've played 3 games with Bodan throughout all the years I played this game, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't feel like talking about Bodan. That's not my lane. But I've spent months playing as Wildfire trying to make this work, trying to blink. Like Wildfire is a spirit that you go into a multiplayer game with, and I know I am actively harming my teammates. All right. So but just talking about how the spirit performs wouldn't do it justice, and I feel like playing a game and showing you my issues with this spirit will probably be better off. So let's do that. Now let's talk about our initial let's talk about Wildfire initially, right? So initially we put 3 presence and 2 blight on the board in our highest numbered sands, right? So if you're gonna look for a board, if you're gonna play Wildfire, right? And I recommend you don't, but if you're truly gonna try to play Wildfire and make it work, all right, you at least want to start in a land where you have blight. You want to make sure. I mean, you want to start in a land where you have a building. All right. So out of all these boards, you want to go to the one that has a building in there, so you can at least do something. All right. Now, Habsburg Livestock, right, isn't the monarchy version is not one of my favorite adversaries. I played them plenty of times. I lose more against these guys than I win against them, and that's because I find it um like you just can't pick any adversary into them. All right. I mean, you can't pick any spirit into these guys. You have to pick certain spirits that can sort of that can destroy towns, that can do things. You know what I mean? Like I tried playing River. River is a really hard matchup into them, and the board is it's so dependent on what boards you go into with these guys. But we're not here to talk about River. We're here to talk about Wildfire. So I think we know what Habsburg does, right? When they build inland, they build 2 towns. They have some setups. We remove an additional stage 1 card. Our towns have 4 HP total unless they are in lands with blight. And they also have the Habsburg reminder. And if they are adjacent to a land with towns, they do an additional 2 damage. So let's get started on our first explore. And our first explore is into the mountains. All right. So this is meh. I'm probably gonna be okay. So what do we want to do here? Now, here's the thing, right? Um, okay, so we're gonna talk about Wildfire first. So post setup, after we add presence to a land, for each fire showing on the tracks, it does +1 damage. We do 1 damage, and then if two or more fire are or more are showing on your tracks, you add 1 blight. We push all beasts in any number of Dahan. If you add multiple presence into a land at the same time, only do the above effects once. And then destructive nature. Blight added due to spirit effects does not destroy your presence. All right. So if you look at our track, right, we start off with 0, 1. We gain no energy, and we only have 1 card play, right? And we have a total of 4 fire on our tracks. Here's the thing: it is very unlikely for you to get all 4 tracks in this game, unless you're playing double. You will more than likely go somewhere like here. I'm sorry. You will probably go somewhere like here. All right. Maybe over here, depending on how greedy you want to be. But normally, like by this point in the game, it's probably over, and that's because the adversary has already gotten to you, right? Because here's the thing with Wildfire, right? Um, so when you play the game, right, most spirits can only handle 1 land at a time, right? That's perfectly reasonable. You let 1 land go so you can handle another land. Nothing wrong with that. Every spirit sort of moves that way, right? So if that so what happens though is that in Wildfire case, by the time you want to start interfering in lands, like when you get to stage 2, by the time you want to interfere in the land, it's sort of hard to because you can't put presence in a land with blight without cascading. So let me show you what I mean, right? I know I can handle this land. I can't do anything about this land. So this land is gonna blight. That is what it is, right? But when I um so when the next in order for me to put presence into this land though, I'm gonna have to sacrifice putting my presence into another land that doesn't have blight. Okay, I'm trying to word this in a way that it makes sense, but it's sort of hard, so I'm just rambling. So let's just get to it. You'll see what I mean. We will use our first turn to gain a minor. We're looking for 0 fires. All right. I am okay with this actually. Lure the Unknown is probably our best choice because we need fire plant. We do a lot of cool things fire plant wise. So we want to get that. We're gonna deal 1 damage over here. And we will. Oh, I already did that. There's nothing I really want to play. We could do that. I'm actually gonna hold off on playing a card because there's nothing I really want to do right now. Yeah, there's nothing I really want to do, so we won't. Here's the thing: they're gonna gather into here, right? So what I could do is I can do Lure of the Unknown. No, if I do Lure of the Unknown, we're still gonna get fudge. All right. So there's nothing I can do there. All right. We're just gonna have to skip this first turn. Fast power phase, event. They build, they gather. There's no towns to gather. They gather into here. We're gonna choose to gather that town into there, and then they're gonna explore into the jangles. So, all right. Hmm. And now we have and then we go to time passes. So, what do I want to do here? I want to get to 2 card plays, right? Now we have a few things that we can do here. We can push any number of Dahan. I'm going to choose not to push any number of Dahan. Now here's the thing, right? we are gonna be in a bad predicament. So I need to get into lands with blight. So here, normally what I do is I try to go down here. I try to get to 3 card plays, right? Because at this point we're still doing 1 damage, so we can safely enter our blighted lands, and um, we can safely enter our blighted lands and not like blow and not cascade because we don't want to cascade. All right, we don't care about blighting, but we truly don't want to cascade because that's where things are gonna get very sad for us. Now, I sort of want to do Lure of the Unknown over here and do that. We still only have 2 energy. We gained a minor, so we can't really play anything. This is another thing I feel is really rough with Heart of Wildfire. You start off with 0 energy right off the gate. All right. If we want to get, and you can get a lot of energy, but you need to have fire presence showing, and it's not impossible, I want to say, but it is kind of a pain to sit there and go, yeah, we're only going to get 2 energy. You really, when you use your third growth option, you want to use it to get things done. So that is going to be a pain, sadly. And then I think we're going to play Threatening Flames. Sadly, we won't have the energy we. No, I want to save. Here's the thing. I want to hold on to Threatening Flames because um, the reason I want to hold on to Threatening Flames because we can do things with this to sort of push towns out of the way. So I'm at 2 card plays. I really want to play something, but I'm broke. All right, I think this is the best we got right now. So we can do 1 damage per fire we have. Mm, I could do Threatening Flames. If I do Threatening Flames, what do I get? Um, I think this is the way it's gonna have to be. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, right? We will play Flames Fury, and we're gonna use Lure of the Unknown. So we're gonna use Lure of the. First, we're gonna use Flames Fury. We're gonna give ourselves 1 energy, and we're gonna give ourselves +1 damage with each damage dealing power we use this turn, right? Next on our list, we will use our left innate to deal 1 damage per 2 fire we have. We only have 3, so we only deal 1, but Flames Fury allows us to deal 2 damage, so we're gonna destroy this town. Then we're going to use Lure of the Unknown to gather a town into the sands. And I think that is it for now. This was actually an amazing pickup. Oh, wait. Why do I only have. Oh, did I not gain a minor? One, two, three, four. No, I didn't gain a minor. Let's see. Would that have changed anything? We can get Nature's Resilience. We can get Nature's Resilience. That'll be fine. Yep, and now that should be right because we didn't use our energy, so we do have 1 energy next turn. Invader phase. Nothing happens. Event. I'm just gonna hit display your wrath at this betrayal. We're gonna destroy 1 Dahan because we have a bunch of fire, right? Yep. Cost 2. We have 3. So we're gonna destroy Dahan. Gain a fear. We're gonna push 1 disease to the adjacent land with the most invaders. We don't have any. So they're gonna ravage in the mountains. Then they're gonna build in the jungles. They don't have anything to gather here, so we're safe. They will gather a town into here, though, and then they're going to explore into the wetlands with escalation. Now, we do have 4 blight, so we still have to add 1 town to a land without towns and blights. So we're going to add it over here. And then they're going to explore into the wetlands. And now here's um all right. And then we will go into our slow phase. We don't have any slow phase, so we just do time passes. So now here's the thing. I have a lot of options, right? And this is what I mean about being unable to get into your board, okay? So I can get my second fire track, right? If I come over here, I can deal 2 damage, wipe out this town, the Han counterattack. We take 1 blight, but that's fine. The issue, though, is that I will not be able to get into this land at all because if I put any presence in here after I unlock my second fire track, then they will blight when mountains comes up again. If I come in here now, we're gonna blight and then we're gonna cascade. So I'm gonna have a blight cascade, or I can do something about this. And this is really tough, but I think my what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna deal 4 damage, and we're just gonna get knock that guy out. And then now we have 4 fires. I mean we have 2 fires showing on our tracks, so we're actually gonna use our G3 to gain 2 energy, and then we gain another 2 energy for each fire showing on our tracks. And now here's the thing. We are in a rough spot here, but we can make a lot of things work. So now here's the thing, right? Now we can start removing blight, and this is probably going to be your most optimal position. The only thing is, you always need to have 2 plants and 2 fires. All right, you always need to have that. So luckily for us, we did get a nature's resilience, which is amazing actually. But you can't always bank on grabbing a nature's resilience because that's probably what I'm going to use to take care of that invader. So I think this is going to be our turn actually. Whoops. So we will use threatening flames, right? So we destroyed our town. We're going to use threatening flames over here to actually push this town into. We're going to generate 2 fear, right? Oh yes, this is slow. So we're going to generate 2 fear. 1, 2, and we get to push a town to an adjacent land without our presence. So we're actually going to push this town over here, and then we are going to use our left innate, and we're going to deal 2 damage to this town. And now we have this is a we're actually in an amazing position. I know I was talking crap about Wildfire, but we are actually in an amazing position because we have a nice pocket. So if they come into this, um, oh no, we don't because they're gonna build in the wetlands. But it's everything's good actually. I'm really surprised. Huh. Okay. Yeah, this is going way better than I thought it was gonna go. Um, Then we're going to go to our event. We are on stage 2, so invaders deal +1 damage per land when ravaging. This, you know what I mean? Like, what do you do? Add a disease to a jungle wetland with the most towns or cities. All right, and remove 1 blight from a land with at least 2 Dahan. So this is nice, but you know what I mean? We do have a fear card. Let's see what we get. Each player removes 1 explorer town from a land with sacred sites. We don't have any. So they're going to ravage in the wetlands. They're gonna build in a what? I mean, they're gonna ravage in the jungles. There is no town here in an adjacent land, so we don't have to worry about. Um, we don't have to worry about what's the word I'm looking for here. Them doing +2 damage, and then they're gonna explore into the wetlands, and then they're going to explore into the sands with escalation. But we have 5 blight on the board, so we don't have to worry about that escalation no more. So we are going to put a town over here. Wait, it's in the land with the fewest blight, right? Oh no, wait, we're skipping their escalation. What am I doing? We've got 5 blight. So they're just gonna explore into the sands. And then I think it's oh no, we got one more turn. Alright. So what do we do here? The thing is, they build in the wetlands. There was no town to gather, that's why we didn't gather a town. So we can do 1 fear, deal 2 damage to a town. I don't have any towns in here to deal damage to though. because the destroy effects only deal 2 damage, so I guess that's the best I could do. We can heal a blight, so we'll do that. Will we? Uh, yeah, we can heal a blight. And then yeah, I guess we'll do time passes. All right. So we can either go 1 energy per turn or 3 card plays. I want to get 3 card plays, but I would much rather. I want to get some energy. Here's the thing: we need some kind of income. So I'm gonna come over here, and we're gonna blight over here, and then we're gonna deal 2 damage to this town, and we will gain a minor. Ooh, okay. Blight healing is good because it's with renewing rain we can do some stupid stuff. Okay. And it heals blight in jungle sands. So I'm not against having more blight healing in jungle sands. So I think that's what I'm gonna pick up. Gold's Allure would be nice. Quicken is an excellent defend 10. Um, and then there's Flesh Rot Fever. No, I think we want the blight healing. We're gonna go with the blight healing. And now, here's the thing though, right? So, I won't have enough damage to destroy a town over here, but I will have enough damage to destroy that explorer. So, okay. I think we do that, that, that. Um, yeah. All right. So we're gonna defend 6 here. We're gonna use our no. We're gonna defend 6 here, right? And then we will use our effect to deal 1 damage to this guy. And we're going to see where we get to with that. I really didn't want to play that, but I didn't need 1 more fire actually, so I could have actually played Renewing Rain. What if I would have played Renewing Rain real fast? I think we're going to play Renewing Rain because we're just going to use it to heal up a blight somewhere. I think that'll be better off for us instead of doing flash fires because flash fires is really expensive. I think it's a terrible card, honestly. Probably one of because it's two energy to do 1 fear and 1 damage, and you only get 2 elements. I think it's a crap. Wildfire is held back by a lot of things, as you can see. All right, event. Oh, we also are not pushing any Dahan out. We're gonna leave them over there for now. So the event, we don't play that. The event cultures mix and clash. If Dahan outnumber towns and cities by 2 or more, replace 1 town with 1 Dahan. If towns or cities outnumber Dahan by 2 or more, replace 1 town. So we have 2, 4 Dahan. Sadly, I lost 1. I lost 2 actually. And then 2, 4. So we don't outnumber anything, so we don't lose anything. In the land with the most combined invaders and Dahan, 1 disease, 2 damage to Dahan. I mean, it does put us ahead. Each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among all its lands gains 1 energy. I used to have Dahan. And then we do Fear. In a land matching a Ravage card, 1 damage. We're just going to do that over there. And then we're going to Ravage into Wetlands. So this is safe. This blights. And blight card. Immediately on each board, destroy 1 presence, remove 1 town. Neat. All right, and then they're going to build in the sands. So we have a disease. We don't have any towns for them to gather. They will gather a town into here. And because this is blighted and they took 2 damage, they just die. And then we will explore into the jungles. So we do have a corner where we are very well protected. So we don't have to worry about this. This is I'm not sure how I feel about this honestly. This match is going swimmingly. Like we're definitely not losing, but we ain't, you know what I mean? We're not winning either. Actually, I think we're pretty far ahead. Actually, if you really look at it, because let's see, we have to do um now we have to do the Habsburg stuff. So when revealed on each board, add a city to a coastal land without cities, and then we have to add a town to the fewest lands with blight. So we have to add a town here, and then we sort of get to pick where we want to add more towns. So we're gonna add a town there, and we're gonna add a town here. And I think we are all right. And then we do what do we do next? We heal a blight. Do I want to heal that blight there? I guess we'll heal that blight. We'll see how that goes. Yep. Sadly, we don't get our other blight healing, but whatever. It's not the end of the world. So that happens. That happens. Time passes. Now we're gonna reclaim, gain another miner. Again, this is going great. I'm. This is you. Oh, all right. We gain one energy. The reason I picked Shadows of Burning first is because it's a zero fire plant. All right, we need fire plant. We're not gonna play it, but I do love it. What we will play though is we're gonna play Threatening Flames, and we're gonna do Flames Fury. Let's see, how much damage can I do here? If we do this, that would be 3 damage. I can clear up all of that. We push that town somewhere. Um, Actually, no, I can't play Renewing Rain, so I think we have to do Nature's Resilience here next turn. Okay, so I think this is what we do this turn. Yes. So we do Flames Fury, gain an energy, +1 damage to all our damage dealing powers. We're going to deal 3 damage here. Next, we're going to gain 2 fear, and we're going to push this town out from this land. And yeah, we are good. Um, Event, Blight, nothing happens. Event, no one plays Hardworking Settlers. Get that out of here, man. Seeing two things you don't, whatever. Ignore wilds during the explore steps. On each board without wilds, explore actions add +1 explorer. All right. In each land with beasts, 1 damage. All right. Add 1 Dahan to a land with Dahan and no other tokens. So we could actually add you over here, which I think is what the plan is going to be. And then we get 1 fear card. Lands with presence have defend 2. All right. So they're going to ravage in the sands. Nothing doing. Then they're going to build in the jungle. So they're going to add a town. Then they're going to gather a town. And then they're going to explore into the coast. Now, this might be a bit more of a pain because I really don't have an answer for the coast. See, now here's the thing, right? Um, Against this adversary, I've pretty much managed to stop them from doing anything. Like, we've managed to destroy more towns than they've managed to put on a board, which by itself is absolutely amazing. All right, normally you never see no crazy thing like that. And the fact that this is working so well because again, they haven't been able to use their. Normally, they would have added like we would have seen 3 extra towns, right? Again, with most spirits, they don't. We find it easier to take care of our lands. So there's a lot of times when I play that I get hit with the 2 towns twice. All right. So they'll put because I have less than 2 blight, so they'll add a bunch of towns, and thanks to Wildfire sort of coming in automatically with an extra 2 blight, you start off with 1 blight. So you just need 2 more blight, and then you never get touched by their escalation. And we have an amazing blight card, so we don't have to worry about blighting. We haven't like the 3 towns that we should have got, we never got. And even with this, like it added the 3 towns that we were supposed to get from this. You know what I mean? So we're we're doing amazing. Kudos. I can heal a blight. I'm actually gonna choose not to. No, I will because I need to start getting into certain lands, and we're gonna blight cascade. So I need to build up blight so we can cascade safely. All right. Now we will go to 3 card plays. That's definitely happening. We're gonna deal 2 damage, destroy you. Bam. Destroy that town. Now this is gonna do a lot of damage, so we need to we go to 3. I pretty much have an amazing hit. I think I want to get one more minor. Maybe one more minor. Let's see what we get here. Oh, no. Oh, no, we're good. We're good. Everything's good. Now, drought. Ooh. We're actually gonna pick up promises of protection. Mm, no, we'll grab uncanny melting because we need something to heal blight from wetlands, so that'll be fine. Mm, yeah, I'm at. Listen, this is going really well, and I'm really impressed by this. Um, so we have to do our defense 6 somewhere. I wanted to do it over here, but I don't have a sacred site. I could make a sacred site here, but then we have all these towns to deal with. So I don't want to do that. So I think we do Lure of the Unknown to grab a town. We do Asphyxiating Smoke to destroy a town. And then we could do Uncanny Melting to heal this blight up. Because right now we're at 4. So we can deal 2 damage. Oh, they're going to deal 3 damage here, though. So what do I need to do here? Maybe we do flash fires instead? And then I can kill everything in this land. Alright. Yeah, alright. So we're going to make flash fires fast. We're going to deal 1 damage. Bam. We're going to use this to gather a town. Bam. We're going to use our ability to deal 2 damage to this town. Bam. And then that's you, that's you. Then we get a free town destroy somewhere. So yeah, I think that should be good. Part of me wants to reclaim, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna go the way I want it to. All right, yep. All right. After the first successful build action, add 1 explorer to an adjacent land without invaders. All right. Push up to 2 explorers or 1 town from a land with beasts. I don't have anyone. 2 fear per land with the Hans and city. Wait, 2 fear? Yeah, 2 fear. All right. Each player removes 1 explorer town from a land with 2 or more Dahan. Ooh, is that one? That's 1 town. Yeah, 1 town. All right. All right. So they're gonna ravage in the jungles. We don't have anyone there. They're gonna build in the coast. So plop, plop, and plop. And then they're going to explore into the sands and wetlands. So, all right. And then we're going to do 1 fear and we're going to destroy this town over here. This way, they don't get the adjacency bonus, so these guys will not deal +2 damage. And these guys will also not deal +2 damage. We will also heal a blight from our jungle. Again, we're going to come in here and blight cascade. And there's just nothing we can do about that. Well, I mean, maybe there is, but not right now, not at the moment. So yeah, I think that's it. And then we do time passes. So we could go up to 2 energy, or I could get my third fire. My third fire is going to be absolutely amazing because now I can start wiping out cities. I can actually, if I come over here, I can actually save that land. Um, we do 3. Um, we do natures. Um, if I come in here, All right, so this is rough. I sort of want to get here though. I don't want to come here because this land is pretty much taken care of. If I come here, we can save this land. They will blight and cascade, but I think I'm actually okay with that because we can heal our blight. So I'm not too worried about that. So I think going there would be fine, and then we just wipe out the city. So we need another miner. Fire. Okay. So all right. So we got something good here. We can do enticing splendor. Mm, no, we're gonna do swarming wasp. The reason we're gonna do swarming wasp is because it's fire. We want it. We want it to do what it needs to do. Um, we're not at 3 card plays yet, sadly. So what can we do here? We would be able to deal 2 damage in this land. Um, we can defend 6 here, and I'm just gonna have to pray that the fear card does something. Yep, sounds good. Sounds good to me. So we can throw a beast there. Bam. We can defend 6 here. And then we deal our 2 damage over here. Yep. Alright, that should be good. And then the event. Oh wait. After the first successful build action, we should have added an explorer. So we do get an explorer there. I forgot to do that. Alright. For the rest. Oh, we're on Blight Island. Add 1 blight to an adjacent land with blight. We can prevent this by destroying 2 presents. Does event? No, no. I would still. Uh. Okay, so we have to blight here. There's a method to my madness. So we lose my presence. Each beast generates 1 fear and moves in adjacent land if not. Um, each beast generates 1 fear if invaders are present and moves in adjacent land if not. So we're going to generate 2 fear, bringing us our next fear card. Add 1 Dahan to an inland land with Dahan. Alright. Fear card. Each player removes 1 explorer from a land with beast, strife, or at least 2 Dahan. So we're actually going to remove you. And then isolate 1 land. If towns and cities are present, skip all build actions. Isolate 1 land. We can isolate. Um, we'll isolate there. Because if they go into the jungles, it'll prevent them from doing crazy things. Alright. So they are going to ravage in the coastal lands. So these guys will die first. We'll do this ravage next. There's no adjacent towns, so they don't do +2 damage. And they will blight and cascade over there, and we lose another presence. Then they're going to build in the sands and wetlands, and because we destroy these 2 lands, they don't do anything there. And they will gather, though, into there, which sort of sucks. And then they're going to explore into the jungle sands. So this is isolated. You come over here, you come over here, and you come over here. All right. And I think that is peachy. All right. So we need to target this land. Um, we're actually going to target this one in mountain jungles and push you out. Oh, I need to get into this land. All right. All right. So here's the thing, right? I can reclaim. Oh, we need to figure out something here. What do I do? If I reclaim, we can defend 6 and take 1 blight here. They'll die here. Nothing will happen there. Yeah. Okay, so we got to reclaim. So we're gonna reclaim, and we're going to gain. What do I gain here? We're gonna gain one energy. I don't know what major I want. I'm looking for a specific minor. Still haven't found it. Shoot. We can grab this, but I haven't. I'm looking for a specific major, and I can't find it. And this is gonna be rough because I need it. Mm, because here's the thing. Right now, right, they're gonna be blighting, and I need them to blight in lands where I have presence at. Oh, did I heal a blight, by the way? Fudge. What did I do like a turn ago? Nope. I'm just wait. Ah, fudge. One more turn. Do 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 do. Shoot. All right. Well, we already hit the reclaim. What's our minor? I'm really looking for zero cost cards or fear cards, and that'll have to do for now. So here's the thing. I have a lot of answers to different things. This I won't be able to handle this turn, but I can do something about that next turn. So if that's the case, let's do nature's resilience. Because what are we dealing with? We're going to be seeing this, and no, we won't, because we're going to kill that right now. I just need. What do I need? You? You? Yeah, no, we're going to be just fine, actually. And then we're just going to add our beast token to this land. Um, we're going to defend 6 here. And then we're going to deal 1 damage for every fire we have, so we're going to deal it there. And next, we only got like 3 more turns left, but yeah, okay, that should be good for now. All right, event. Um, I'm actually gonna. I don't have no beast cards, really? None. Oh, I got 2 on the field. I really don't have a beast element. All right, we're gonna just forget that. And sadly, nope, good. We still get to move that blight. All right, so we get to discard the minor. Please be slow. It's fast. Oh, it's a good one. Ah, fudge. All right. Invaders in the Honda +1 health this turn. Don't care. On each board with 4 more towns and cities and 4 fewer Dahan. Sadly, we have 5, so we are safe. They ravage in the sands and wetlands. 2, 4, 6. They do 6 damage because of the adjacency, but we blight. We protected that. They will blight here though. That makes me sad. Then they're gonna build in the jungle sands. No one there. No one there. No one here. They're gonna build 2 towns here, and then they're going to gather a town, and then they're going to Sands Mountains. Sands Mountains. All right. Um. Yeah. And then we're going to use slow phase. So we're going to use our ability to heal this blight. We're going to push this guy into here. I really want to get rid of as many towns as I can. So this is going to be a real interesting turn here. Oh, we got to get our 2 fear. And yeah, we are slow. We only have a few more turns left. So we have to destroy all the towns here and destroy all these cities. So I need to get into here next turn. That should be real easy to do. So we need um 4 card plays would be great. So we're gonna go to 4 card plays. We're gonna use our ability to. I'm sorry. gain our 3 energy for our fire tracks and gain another 2. And because next turn I think we're gonna try to go for a major. We're gonna come right in here. We're gonna deal 3 damage to you. And now with 4 card plays, uh, yes, yes, we should be able to hit everything we want to hit. Um, yeah, yes, yes. Because I think we do this, and oh, I never get to do Firestorm. Oh, I never get to do Firestorm. All right, how much damage am I doing total? I can't. Here's the thing. I can't do that last part because we will die. In lands with blight where you have presence, push all the Han, destroy all invaders and beasts, and add 1 beast. Add 1 blight. So I don't really have a way to do that. So I don't think we'll do that level. We will do the 1 damage per flames that we have. So we get to do 7 damage, and with Flames Fury, we are going to do another 1 damage, making that 8. So we're going to deal 8 damage total in this land, destroying all our towns. Yeah? Yes. We're going to do 8 damage total, destroying all our towns. Next, we're going to generate 2 fear. And oh, please tell me I have a way to do something about that. I just realized I might not have a way to actually deal with the city. I'm really going to need a major. Um, yeah, okay. We're going to push you out into here. And then we're going to use Lure of the Unknown to gather you into this one. And luckily there's no towns, so we are safe. And I think that's good. Oh, that was so exciting. But all right. All right. So event, um, add 1 blight. We're going to destroy 2 presents. Push up to 2 explorers or 1 town from a land with feast. Um, yeah, whatever. Gather 1 Dahan into a land with Dahan. In that land, defend 1 per Dahan. Um, doesn't really matter. Alright, fear cards. Each player may downgrade 1 town in the coastal land. Don't have. Each player removes 2 explorer or 1 town from a land with Dahan. I'm sorry, 2 explorers? 2 explorers or 1 town. Alright. Each player may gather 1 explorer town into a coastal land, defend 2 in all coastal lands. So we're just going to hit our defend 2. And then we ravage in the jungle sands. So you die. My jungles and sands are cured. And they're going to build in the sands and mountains. Then they're going to explore into the mountain wetlands. And this. And then it's slow phase. So we're going to generate 1 fear. And we're going to destroy this town. And then we're going to heal this blight. And then we do time passes. Alright. And I just need a fast major. I just need a fast major. Here's no. We could have a sacrifice victory. Hold up. We could have a sacrifice victory, right? I think we need a. Okay, if the major is no good, we go for a sacrifice victory. The major is absolutely no good. It is absolutely no good. Oh, why are you so bad? Okay, whatever. I tried. I really tried. We're just gonna come over here. We're gonna deal our damage, and yep, we're gonna deal our 3 damage. Destroy the city. We would win, but we have to add a blight. So Yeah. Wait, where's the game results? Sacrifice victory. Yeah. Yeah. No. Listen. That was a great game. I still lost, but as you can see, right? I hope that game sort of showed some of the problems I had with Wildfire. All right. Well, okay. Let me start listing them down, right? It's a very tough choice to make to go back into this mountains, right? If we would have got there maybe at the first blight and blight cascaded like I wanted to do, maybe we would have blighted somewhere else. All right. Now, I feel like um Habsburg monarchy or Habsburg livestock is an adversary where Wildfire does really well into. Because let me be real, all right. Let me give credit where credit's due. This was a great matchup for Wildfire, all right. We were able to keep our towns down, and we prevented them from escalating on us. The issue though is that we were always losing presence. It was very difficult to get into this land because we were already blight cascading. Maybe if I would have played like Renewing Rain last turn, we could have did something else to heal up another blight. Maybe we could have gone in there and had the victory. But we actually needed all of this because we played these four cards. No, we played these four cards. All right. Now there is a chance, right, that it might have been okay to not play Asphyxiating Smoke and gone with Renewing Rain, but we wouldn't have had that extra one damage to destroy all our towns, right? Because with flash fires, we were able to deal. Did I do my extra damage for flash fires? No, it was asphyxiating smoke. I'm sorry. So with asphyxiating smoke, we were able to destroy a town, and it gave us the extra element we needed in order to destroy all 8 of those towns. All right. The lure of the unknown helped us gather one of those explorers out. And then threatening flames also helped us push out one of those explorers. Listen, all right. Sometimes you can bet on whether the event or the fear card will save you. All right. I don't like doing that personally. As a player of this game, I don't like just betting on event cards. I don't like hoping like that when I can solve the problem myself. It's great if I can't solve the problem and the event does something. But if I didn't do anything about that and I just tried to bet on those two cards doing something, luckily they did do something, but there was no guarantee that this was going to be a beast damage, all right? Because I was hoping for beast damage last turn and I didn't get that, all right? I ended up getting beast prowls. So I was very sad about that. But it's sort of like you don't want to, I don't want to gamble too much into my event and fear cards trying to save my life, especially when I'm one blight away from losing the game. You know what I mean? You don't want to end up in that problem. I'm sorry, do I got to do that? There we go. Yeah, I should have did that. So that's the reason I played that. At the time, I felt that was probably the best hand. I was sad that we lost Cycles of Time and Tide. If I had the chance to pick up Cycles, I would have picked that up. It's such a fast Blight card is so good to grab. All right, and also um, an amazing card that I feel like is what is it? Absorption? Yes. Also, this card over here is probably Wildfire's best card. Gather a blight, pay 1 energy, remove 1 blight. Now here's the thing, right? Maybe I did have a lot of energy, right? So going for a major was definitely in the plans, but as you can see, my first 4 majors were garbage. All right. This one would only be useful in lands I was in. This one is only useful in lands I'm in. This one is you very dangerous for me because it puts all my like I can put presence in the surrounding land. So I defend 3, right? And then I can start adding presence. What's the point of adding presence if I'm just gonna blight up and destroy the islands? You know what I mean? because every presence I add destroys 3. So because of my spirit itself, these effects were not gonna help me. All right, and that was the first major. Now, draw towards a consuming void is too expensive for my taste. All right, I'm getting 2 energy per turn. The only reason I'm at 7 is because I was saving up energy to get what I needed. Now, what if you would have grabbed a second major? Maybe my second major, Focus the Land's Anguish would have been good. Infestation was another good pick. But again, when you're drafting cards, you want to draft what's useful. Again, and you're really strong when you hit 4 card plays. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, you can handle a bunch of lands, but you can only handle lands that you are in. And I think that's Wildfire's greatest weakness. If you can't get into a land, or if you're slowly losing presence from the events, from the invaders, you know what I mean? Um, it's hard to come back. You know what I mean? And this is an adversary I feel that it's like Wildfire should excel at. And I still drew. Now, we did have some good draws. We drew Nature's Resilience. We drew. Where are you? We drew Lure of the Unknown. I never draw Lure of the Unknown. All right. So we definitely had some amazing picks. But, you know, this was a really. This is a really rough game. And if you're not destroying things constantly, or I mean, I'm sorry, if you're losing presence constantly, you're not staying on the board. Because remember, we had presence here, we had presence here, and I ended up losing them all. I started off with 3 presence in here. I had a sacred site over here. You know what I mean? It's like as you lose more presence, like yeah, we were on the island, but I couldn't get into these 3 lands, and it was hard to do something about those lands. So that's kind of the issue you run into when you're playing as Wildfire. Now, I will say one thing that I'm just now thinking about that I could have done was maybe there was a turn in which I could have did something like this. Um, where we just did nothing but heal blight. So we healed the blight in the wetland, we healed the blight in the sands, and we used nature's resilience to heal another blight. Maybe there was a turn like that that could have helped me out. Like going for the reclaim might have been. Let's see. We healed the blight from the jungles. We use. We reclaim everything, but then I don't have a presence to add into that land in order to do damage. See what I mean? So it's sort of I don't know. It can be hit or miss. And when you're playing a spirit that's searching for answers because they can't do a lot because they are stuck in this pot in this they're stuck in their own design where they can't access parts of the board, that's when I feel like a spirit I lose interest in the spirit. And that's why I lost interest in Wildfire. Transforming is the same way, except transforming helps your team more. But I feel like base Wildfire, it's really tough. Like if either of these abilities had a range of 1, I feel it would be such an improvement to Wildfire because then you're like, all right, now I can do things in this land. Now I can do things in this land. Or now I can remove Blight in this land, or I can remove Blight in this land. And this is what I'm saying. You're a spirit that loses the game, but the benefits you get for losing the game aren't really that good. You know what I mean? Or they're not as good as they need to be, all right? If I'm going to lose the game, if I'm going to be adding blight, then I need to be doing enough damage or I need to be doing something on the board that's significantly making the game easier for me. And when I play as Wildfire, I don't feel like I am. I feel like I'm sort of hurting my teammates and not and being another adversary pretty much, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this game with Wildfire. You know what I mean? I know it's a long one, but I really feel that this was a good I feel like this was a great representation into, the problems with Wildfire. Because again, you know, if Wildfire could just handle lands that it can't get into, I feel that it would be great. Oh, and another thing, this card is trash. All right, 2 energy for a card you can potentially make fast. And yes, you can use Flame Fury to make that 2 damage, but 2 damage, come on, what are we doing here? All right, Like, who's you're not playing these two cards together? Uh, Hold up. Let me just talk about Wildfire's opening hand, right? You are not playing these two cards together. You're not doing that. The reason you're not doing that is because you are playing these two cards together. So you can hit this part, especially when you get to two card plays, you can hit this part to start removing blight. All right. Maybe you might be playing this together. This is definitely gonna. This can probably definitely happen. You know what I mean? Let me just get rid of some of that. Or wait. Let me just blot these off. Um, yeah, like you're really not playing Flame Fury together with this. I think Flash Fire is a trash card. All right, absolutely garbage. And it sucks that not only do you start with this card, but it's two energy. It's like, come on now. The only answer you have to stop something that's ahead of the game is literally one damage. You know what I mean? It's like Wildfire just is held back by a lot of different things, and its starting hand definitely doesn't help you. You know what I mean? Like, and don't get me wrong, some games you're gonna play a card, but again, you try to get zero cost. Like, if you look at my cards, I have a lot of zero cost on the field, so that way I don't have to worry about energy. So I can do other things with it. Because your innate, this innate is really good, especially if you can hit the second part. And it's something you can hit when you get to three card plays. But you've got to sort of judge when do you want to start doing all these amazing things that you can do with Wildfire. And yes, I say amazing because Wildfire does have amazing. It has potential, but it's limited by its own design in the cards that it starts off with. And if you're busy looking for an answer, you're already a step behind. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Yep. I hope you were all entertained. I really hope that this analysis sort of um, helps you in your game with Wildfire. All right, because here's the thing: like I've sometimes you want to learn how to play a spirit, and I feel that it's real easy to talk about the good points about the spirit, but if you forget to talk about the bad parts of the spirit, then you really don't know like. Then I feel like you're not doing a good job trying to explain your spirit. Wildfire has some good abilities, but it's again, it hampers itself. It shoots itself in the foot and says, "I'm gonna fight this gun wielding I'm gonna fight this gun wielding enemy with a branch." Come on, what are we doing here? But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one, yo. I hope you're all entertained. Hit that like, subscribe if you sat here this long, cause it's a long video. I wasn't expecting it to get this long, honestly, but I was just so invested in the game at points that I forgot about it, and now I'm rambling again. So I will catch you all in the next one. Next one's Marvel Champions. I'm working on my Nick Fury deck. All right, we lost with him, but I want to bring it back. All right, we can do it. Can do it all night long. All right, Waterboy reference. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all on that flip side, yo. Peace.